Life is a maze, a complex, twisting labyrinth of choices, paths, and dead ends. Every day, we navigate its corridors, searching for something we call cheese. For some, cheese is success. For others, it's financial security, a loving family, a fulfilling career, or simply a sense of peace. We find our cheese, we build our lives around it, and we feel safe. We feel secure, but one day, inevitably, the cheese moves. Change is the one constant in the maze of life, and how we react to it defines our journey. Imagine a place in the maze, a bright, happy corner we'll call Cheese Station. See, it's filled with a huge, glorious pile of cheese, enough to last a lifetime. Or so it seems. Here, we meet for characters. To our little mice, Sniff and Scurry, and to our little people, Hem and Haw, at first, everyone is ecstatic. They've found what they were looking for. Day after day, they come to Cheese Station C to enjoy their reward. Sniff and Scurry, being simple creatures, keep their running shoes tied around their necks, just in case. They instinctively check the cheese each morning, noticing subtle changes. It's getting a little older, a little smaller. Hem and Haw, on the other hand, get comfortable. They put away their running shoes and start to see the cheese as their entitlement. We're safe now, Hem declares, laughing. The cheese will always be here. Haw feels a flicker of doubt. I hope so, he says, but what if things change? Hem scoffs at the idea. Why worrying? We've earned this. We've won. They become arrogant, complacent. They stop paying attention. They take the cheese for granted, and then, one morning, it happens. They arrive at Cheese Station C, and the cheese is gone. Completely vanished. The silence is deafening. Sniff and Scurry aren't surprised. They saw it coming. Without a moment's hesitation, they do what mice do best. Sniff sniffs out the direction of a new scent, and Scurry scurries off into the maze to find it. For them, the situation is simple. The cheese is gone, so they must go find more. No overthinking, no complaining, just action. Hem and Haw, however, are paralyzed. Who moved my cheese? Hem screams in anger. He feels betrayed, victimized. This isn't fair. I deserve that cheese. He sits down, crosses his arms, and refuses to budge, convinced that if he just waits long enough, someone will put his cheese back. Haw is also in shock, but a different thought starts to creep in. He looks at Hem's anger and denial, then at the empty station. Hem, he says hesitantly, maybe we should move on. Maybe we need to go look for new cheese, but Hem is immovable. No, it will come back. I'm staying right here. Days turn into weeks. Haw waits with Hem, growing weaker and more miserable. The fear of the unknown maze is terrifying. What if there's no more cheese out there? What if he gets lost? The darkness of the corridors seems to represent all his anxieties. He looks at his friend Hem, who is now just a shadow of his former self, stuck in bitterness and resentment. Haw realizes that staying here, in this cheeseless situation, is its own kind of failure. The fear of staying put finally becomes greater than the fear of moving on. He stands up, his legs trembling. What if I fail? He whispers to himself. He takes a deep breath. But what if I succeed? That one question changes everything. He realizes that fear is the only thing truly holding him back. He picks up a piece of charcoal from the floor and writes a message on the wall for himself and for Hem if he ever decides to follow. It says, "What would you do if you weren't afraid?" With that, Haw steps out of the familiar emptiness of Cheese Station C and into the dark, unknown maze. His journey has begun. At first, the maze is daunting. It's lonely and filled with uncertainty. Haw finds himself tired and hungry, his mind flooded with doubt. He worries he waited too long. Maybe Sniff and Scurry have already found all the new cheese. He's tempted to turn back to the familiar misery of the empty station with Hem, but then he remembers the question on the wall. He decides to act as if he isn't afraid. He starts to jog, a little at first, then faster. The movement itself feels good. It generates energy and clarity. He starts to notice things he missed before. He finds a small piece of cheese, not much, but it's something. It's proof that there is cheese out there in the maze. This small discovery gives him a surge of confidence. He realizes that the mice, Sniff and Scurry, probably found cheese because they acted quickly. They kept things simple. While he and Hem were analyzing and complaining, the mice were running. He understands now, change leaves clues and action brings results. He writes another message on the wall. When you move beyond your fear, you feel free. As Ha continues his journey, his mindset completely transforms. He stops thinking about what he lost and starts getting excited about what he might find. The maze is no longer a terrifying place, but an adventure full of possibilities. He realizes that imagining himself enjoying new cheese, even before he finds it, is what leads him toward it. He writes again, imagining myself enjoying new cheese, even before I find it, leads me to it. He's not just looking for cheese anymore. He's learning from the journey itself. He understands that the old cheese was never coming back, and that resisting change only leads to suffering. Finally, after navigating more corridors, he turns a corner and sees it. A new cheese station. Cheese Station N, and it's bigger and better than he could have ever imagined. The variety of cheese is incredible, far superior to what they had at Station C. He sees his old friends, Sniff and Scurry, already there, looking well-fed and happy. They greet him with a nod. Ha takes a moment to reflect. He looks back at the path he took, the fear he overcame. He knows that if he had stayed with Hem, he would still be starving, physically and emotionally. He smiles, feeling a deep sense of gratitude. He picks up another piece of charcoal and writes his most important lesson on the wall of this new station. Movement in a new direction helps you find new cheese. He thinks about his friend Hem, still waiting in the dark, and hopes he'll see the writing on the wall and find his own way. But Ha knows that everyone has to find their own path. He can't do it for him. What he can do is continue to learn, to adapt, and to always be ready for the next change. He now regularly inspects the new cheese and keeps his running shoes handy, not out of fear, but out of wisdom. The story of Who Moved My Cheese isn't just about mice and little people. It's about us. We all have cheese in our lives, our jobs, our relationships, our health, our beliefs. And life will, without a doubt, move our cheese. The question is, are you a Hem who denies change, resists it, and becomes a victim of it? Or are you a Ha who learns to adapt, embraces the journey, and finds new and better opportunities as a result? Change will always come. The real question is not who moved my cheese. The real question is, will you move with it? Don't fear the unknown corridors of the maze. Don't let the past hold you hostage. The moment you let go of old cheese is the moment you start your journey towards something new, something better. Chase growth, not security. Because in the end, the only real security lies in your ability to adapt and change. Thanks for watching. If this story resonated with you, hit that like button and subscribe for more content to help you navigate your own maze. See you next time.